Ambassador Velthar had seen many species in his 3 centuries of diplomatic service to the Crythian Dominion. He had negotiated with the philosophical Zanari, traded insults with the warrior Draxans, and even shared meals with the enigmatic Void Wanderers. But he had never seen fear quite like what gripped the council chamber today. The holographic display showed it clearly: 700,000 vessels. The scanners had counted them twice, then 3 times, certain there must be an error. There was no error. "They're just sitting there," High Commander Zaxron said, his scaled hands trembling as they gripped the edge of the tactical table. "At the edge of our system, waiting." Velthar studied the formation with growing dread. The human fleet had arranged itself in a perfect sphere around the Crythian home system, each ship precisely positioned. It was mathematical, surgical. The formation itself was a message. "We can surround you. We can calculate your every move. We have already won." "It's been 6 cycles since New Haven," Velthar said quietly. 6 cycles since we glassed their colony. It was a minor outpost." Zaxron slammed his fist down. "Barely 50,000 humans. We've destroyed larger settlements from lesser species and faced nothing but token resistance." That was the problem, Velthar thought. The Crythian Dominion had ruled this sector of space for millennia. They had conquered 63 species, absorbed 40 of them into their empire, and eliminated the rest. When the humans had refused to acknowledge Crythian superiority, when they had rejected the Dominion's generous offer of subjugation, the response had been standard: make an example of them. New Haven had been that example, a beautiful colony world in the Kepler system, transformed into a lifeless cinder in 48 hours. The Dominion had expected outcry, perhaps a skirmish or 2. Humans were new to this region of space, their exploration fleet modest, their military presence seemingly limited to defensive installations. Intelligence reports suggested Earth could field perhaps 20,000 warships at most. The reports had been catastrophically wrong. "They haven't fired a single shot," Counselor Thresh observed. Why? Velthar knew why. He had studied humans during his brief diplomatic posting to their system. He had walked among them, had seen something in their eyes that made his blood run cold even then. They were a species that remembered. Every slight, every wound, every lost soul, they carried it all with them, carved into their collective memory like scars on ancient stone. "They're letting us feel it," Velthar said. "The weight of what's coming." A junior officer burst into the chamber. "Transmission incoming. From the human fleet. They're requesting to speak with whoever ordered the attack on New Haven." Zaxron straightened, some of his pride returning. "I gave the order. I'll speak with them." He gestured to the communication station. "Show them what Crythian resolve looks like." The holographic display shimmered and a human appeared. She was older, her hair iron gray, her uniform immaculate. The insignia on her collar marked her as an admiral. Behind her, visible through the viewport of her flagship, stretched an endless field of warships. "I am Admiral Chen of the United Earth Space Force," she said, her voice carrying the weight of a glacier. "I am here regarding the massacre at New Haven Colony." "I am High Commander Zaxron of the Crythian Dominion," Zaxron replied, puffing out his chest. "Your presence here is an act of war. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." Admiral Chen's expression didn't change. "High Commander, 6 cycles ago you gave the order to destroy New Haven. 53,742 humans died. Among them were 12,000 children. I have their names, every single one. Would you like to hear them? They were warned to—" "I have a different proposition," Chen interrupted, her voice dropping to barely above a whisper. "You will stand trial for war crimes. Your entire military command structure will disband. The Crythian Dominion will pay reparations, and you will never ever threaten a human world again." Zaxron laughed, a harsh barking sound. "You dare make demands? We have ruled this sector for thousands of years. Our fleet numbers, 38,000 ships," Chen finished. "We counted. It's impressive by local standards." She leaned forward. "High Commander, let me tell you about humanity. We are not the strongest species in the galaxy. We are not the fastest, not the smartest, not the longest lived. But we have one quality that has defined us since we climbed down from the trees and looked up at the stars. We are relentless." She gestured, and the display split to show feeds from across the Crythian system. Human ships had positioned themselves above every major city, every orbital station, Every military installation. When you destroyed New Haven, you killed my daughter. Chen continued, her voice steady despite the pain in her eyes. She was a teacher there, 26 years old. She taught children how to read, how to dream, how to reach for the stars. She paused. You also killed the children of 7,000 other families. Families who are watching this transmission right now. Families who want justice. This is madness, Velthar whispered. 700,000 ships for one colony. Chen heard him. Ambassador, humanity learned a lesson long ago, written in the ashes of our own world wars. Never again. When someone commits genocide, when someone murders children, the response must be absolute. It must be overwhelming. It must ensure that no one anywhere ever thinks they can do this to us again. She stood, and behind her the fleet began to move, not attacking, repositioning, tightening the sphere. You have one rotation, Chen said. Surrender unconditionally, or we will dismantle your civilization ship by ship, station by station, until nothing remains but a warning to others. Her eyes hardened to steel. We are humanity. We do not forget. We do not forgive genocide, and we always come for our fallen. The transmission ended. In the silence that followed, Zaxron looked at his tactical display. At his 38,000 ships facing 700,000, at the targeting solutions that showed human weapons locked onto every Crithian asset in the system. For the first time in Crithian history, the Dominion prepared to surrender. Ambassador Velthar watched the High Commander's shoulders slump and understood a truth that would reshape this entire region of space. Humanity had arrived, and the age of casual genocide was over.